Guys, what's going on? It's your boy Go Getter. Today we're going to be breaking down what I see on SPY, the S&P 500 coming up this week. Right now you can see that we're on the hour time frame. Let me switch to the hour time frame actually. So we're on the hour time frame, and right up here is the resistance level that I have. So this is where we closed at on Friday. We failed to get above and stay above that 754 resistance level, right? We failed to stay above that. We ended up getting above it, but we failed to stay above it, right? So today overnight, right before we open tomorrow on Monday, we are testing that 751 level, right? Overnight, we're moving down to the downside. We're at 751 right now, and I could see us test this 750 level tomorrow morning if we stay on the downside overnight, depending on what happens with the futures, right? So if we end up testing 750 tomorrow, what I'm looking for is for this, man. I want to see whether or not we bounce and move back up to the upside, testing that 755. If we want to pass that, go ahead and test that 758, which is the all-time high, right, up there. And if we don't bounce, what I would want to see is a break below. I want to see us retest. Then my next target would just be like 745, right? If we end up going that low, you got to keep this in mind, that that big old wick, right? If we break that, we can definitely hit that 745. But if you end up wanting to test something more less risky, I guess, because of that big liquidity grab and that wick right there, you can go ahead and say, hey, my first target might be 748 real quick if you're on the options, or maybe that's 747 level. But truthfully, I think that if we end up moving to the downside tomorrow and rejecting off of 750, staying below it, right, I can see us getting to down here at 745, right, 745, 744, and if we get that bearish, right, really bearish, we obviously have that 739 support level. If I zoom out on our time frame, right, 739 as that major support level right there. So tomorrow, once again, right, we're at the overnight right now at 750. If we end up testing at 750, we're at overnight 751, sorry. If we end up testing at 750, I want to see whether or not we stay above it, or do we break it and then test it again, or do we move up to the upside and bounce off of 750 and test that 755. If for whatever reason tomorrow we end up moving up to the upside overnight and end up getting back to that 754 level to test 755 by the time market opens, if that happens, what I want to see then is whether or not are we going to stay above, are we going to get above it and hold above it to 755, reaching all-time highs, or do we go back into the range, test it below the range, and reject it and go to 750, right? So that's what I'm looking at for SPY tomorrow. Excuse me 1 second. Keep in mind also that Trump did say that he's starting to attack more Iran more with the attacks and the war, and they end up starting that again. So let's look at that a little bit. Right, so U.S. and Iran trade airstrikes again amid conflicting claims over Strait of Hormuz. So we have conflict with the Strait of Hormuz. They end up closing up the Strait of Hormuz again. U.S. said they're going to attack. So that is what's causing the market to be a little uncertain right now, and you can see that reflect the market tomorrow. We could possibly see that, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we end up moving to the downside. But let's see how this news holds, and let's see what happens tomorrow in the market, right? If you guys want to stay updated with me, go ahead and click the link in the bio to join my community at Full Circle Wealth, right? And we'll get you started with stocks and crypto. We're in there live, so you can come in there and join us and talk and ask questions or whatever it is to come sharpen your brain. With that being said, it's your boy Go Getter. I hope you learned something today. This is just a quick SPY breakdown, but if you want more, go ahead, click the link, and join us at Full Circle Wealth.